this electoral reform proposal that the EFF plans to table before Parliament by the end of February.
As part of trying to make that a law, we are demanding that the IEC must support that law. The IEC must join in demanding that all South Africans who are above 18 must be automatically registered with the IEC as voters here in South Africa.
As well as harmonizing the general and local elections, the party leader has suggested a rethink on by-elections.
We need to fight this thing of permanent elections in South Africa. Elections are not every 2 years. In South Africa, elections are every Wednesday. Every Wednesday there is a by-election here in South Africa. And the by-election is expensive the same way, if not worse, than normal elections. Why should we have a by-election?
Parties have weighed in. The DA says the proposal is moot, as the constitution requires that voters still be registered. Whilst the official opposition has labelled the EFF's proposal as political posturing, citing that they will deal with the matter in Parliament.
Of South African citizens being automatically registered into the IEC database for voting purposes, when the laws and transparency are not going to be applied. So it's more than anything else, just a red herring, especially now with the GNU introducing e-voting as a process for voting.
Is of the view that the automatic registration of people above the age of 18 does not mean that they will vote.
What we're doing as political parties is to encourage people to choose to participate in the electoral processes. Just because people are registered does not necessarily relate to people having a lot more propensity to go out and vote. There are many registered voters in South Africa that are not coming out to vote.
Sentiments echoed by an expert.
Automatic registration has nothing to do about compulsory voting. It's not to compel people that they must vote, so that's a very different question altogether. But automatic registration also doesn't mean that people can't deregister themselves from the voters' roll. And I think a number of South Africans might not know this, but you actually can, once, even if you're a registered voter, deregister yourself as a voter in the voters' roll. So I think automatic registration would be more about facilitating the ease for people to get onto the voters' roll.
Organization of the elections, Nguni says it may not be a good idea as it may limit citizens' participation.
But the idea of only having one form of election is quite problematic for me, because a country needs to always be in some form of citizen participation in the democracy, for the democracy to be vibrant and to be robust, and for political debates to be ongoing and continuous in society. And I think, again, another point that was made by the leader of the EFF was around by-elections, that maybe there's no need for by-elections. If an ANC councillor resigns, it must be replaced by an ANC councillor. If an EFF councillor dies, it must be replaced by an EFF councillor. But what that takes away from is actually the philosophical underpinning of why we have ward councillors.
SABC News, Johannesburg.